Hi again. Welcome to the last part of our Pride Roundtable conversation. We have our favorite experts back again. And so this one, we're talking about the future, looking a little bit past COVID, a little bit past the pandemic to see where organizations see themselves going in the future. And so the question I have for you all, there is a lot of uncertainty around. There are some things that we just don't know, but looking towards the future, and that could be in the fall or early next year, where do you see your organizations going? And where do you see your organizations going in terms of programming, bringing people together? What's next for you all after the summer?
Well, I can tell you that. So our theme for our virtual event this year is Pride 365 because our organization actually operates all year long because we don't just do the Pride Fest. I mean, we started out doing the Pride Festival and Parade, but we've branched out because we raise money for different local charities and nonprofits. We've branched out, and so we do a film festival, and we have sports leagues, and we do just a number of different things. So that's why we made our theme this year, Pride 365. But this COVID-19, I think, has really impacted our community. The LGBTQIA community is we're a social community, and we always have been, going back to the pre-Stonewall days and stuff. And so congregating and working together as groups is something that's part of our nature. And so if we don't get a handle on this whole COVID-19 thing, I mean, it's greatly going to impact us for the future. So we are planning on having an in-person event next year because we feel that we want our community locally and nationally to move beyond this as a country and as a global partner to move beyond this. And health is a big deal for us. We have two major health organizations that are part of our event every year, and we think that our community, a lot of our community work in some of the areas that have been impacted the greatest by economically, restaurants and bars and different service industry, stuff like that. And we feel that moving out of this, it's imperative that our community all around globally support each other and support those businesses that are trying to come out of this, and not tear people down because they happen to be going back to work right away because they have to, and find a way that you can support those businesses and those organizations as we move out of this crisis that we've been dealing with globally. We're a marginalized community, and it's horrible if we cannibalize ourselves and marginalize ourselves even more.
What's next for some of the rest of you all?
So just, for Austin, Latinx Pride is just, like we mentioned yesterday, we're still trying to figure out what are we going to do after this. So I think that once this is all gone and, we're able to continue forward with our plans, we are going to be able to connect more people and actually, bring resources to people in our community. And I'm just going to say that the way that, COVID has changed how we celebrate Pride in the future is that we are aware of all the resources that are there for us. If we might not be able to meet, in person due to, like busy schedules or just, other logistics that might be happening at the moment. But, we're probably going to be still meeting through Zoom and, like other video conferences platforms, just so that, we're able to keep moving forward and continue with, other plans that our organization might be having. And yeah, I think it's a journey that we are going to, there's going to be, bumps in the road, but at the end of the day, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and we're gonna get through it.
Go ahead, Devyn. What's next for Queerbomb?
So Queerbomb is a little bit different than a lot of organizations. We were founded as a reaction to the corporatization of Pride. So Queerbomb is completely community funded, and it's completely free. So those queers that have the resources help us fund it so that everyone can show up, regardless of what income you have or don't have. So we were in the very last push of our fundraising when this all happened, and our last 2 fundraisers got canceled. So in our dream world, once this all ends, we'll be able to just have another Queerbomb. But we don't have the funds for that this year. So we're definitely going to have our March. And again, in our dream world, we'll all be out of this and we can do it on National Coming Out Day. But no one really knows. We can't read the tea leaves and tell you. So we're kind of just waiting to see. We'd love to find a way to give back to the community this year. Because we, like everyone, we were hit really, really hard. The queer community is always tends to get hit harder when things like this happen. So we want to find a way to give back to the people that are not making money right now. But again, we're not completely sure what that's going to look like. We'll definitely, if we can, have a Queerbomb next year, and it'll be bigger and better. We'll probably have a late 10th anniversary celebration just because I had all these plans, y'all. I had amazing plans. I was so excited for this year. So I'm like, I'm still going to sneak some of these in so that we can make next year even bigger and better. So I'm very excited. But now it's just patience and sending love and sending people to all of these other amazing events that all of my co-panelists are throwing, because y'all are doing unbelievable things. It's been really, really fun to participate. So thank you very much.
And bigger and better, I think, is absolutely the right way to go.
I'm totally with you there. I was on a walk with a friend yesterday, which I have not experienced, but yeah, social distancing walk with a friend yesterday, and masks on, being responsible. But we were just catching up. How's your quarantine been? I haven't seen you in 2 months since the last gay agenda. And I was like, honestly, I'm pretty good. I'm fortunate to still have a day job. And I was like, but I just want to be thriving. I'm good, but I want to thrive. And they were like, yeah, I mean, maybe right now isn't the time to thrive. Maybe it's the time to prepare to thrive. And that really hit me, because I've never felt more present and more averse to planning far into the future, because we really don't know. So right now is the time to keep doing what we're doing, making sure we're okay, because as queer people, we are way too familiar with what it feels like to be isolated. We've spent most of our lives enveloped in that. So, and then when it comes to fall, when it comes to next year, of course I have some dreams of bringing huge amounts of people together, and I think it is totally possible. And if that does happen, it's going to be so easy for it to be bigger than ever and more enthusiastic than ever. And really important, I think, one of the lessons that we'll hopefully take from this is what is public health, and what is the responsibility of a community organizer when it comes to thinking of public health and what's in your community's best interest. And being prepared, having funds set aside for an emergency, which to me, as somebody who's scraping by with the events that we put on, sounds like a really foreign notion. Sorry for the ice cream truck, if you can hear it. Who's getting ice cream right now? I'll wait 1 second just to finish my thought. But yeah, I think it's a time for us to really, really consider what these things mean and what measures and funds and practices we need to have in place, whether it's COVID or whether it's any kind of threat to our community's well-being and health.
So I guess for the future of Austin Black Pride, we're still trying to figure it out. Because like we say, we don't know when this thing is going to be over, when we'll have a vaccine, it'll be safe to congregate again. So we're just trying to, take it honestly month by month. We're looking at, this month we're partnering with the Kind Clinic and Joe and Jeremy over there, and we're doing a drive-in movie. So, folks who are roommates or folks who have been quarantining together can at least get out the house and be in the vicinity of other people to kind of break that isolation. Continue to do the virtual programming and honestly, like Emmet says, like maybe it's not the time to go all out. Maybe it's not the time to, necessarily thrive right now. So getting the groundwork and the admin and, taking time to like think processes and theories through, maybe that's what we should be doing right now. So that's kind of what Awesome Black Pride is doing, taking it month by month, finding ways to keep people socially distant but together, and again, re-emphasizing that virtual programming.
Thank you all. And I just wanted to, before we leave this space, give everyone an opportunity. If there are things that you feel that people can do to still celebrate their pride, go ahead and let them know right now. Let's start with Devyn. You want to jump off and tell people what you feel they can do? And this is not on behalf of your organizations, but just you as a person, as an individual.
So two things. One, my organization, my favorite part, I'm super excited about this. My favorite part of Queerbomb every year is getting to see people show up in their full queer expression. Queerbomb does not mind nudity, so you get to see like the full ranges of how people really show up in their full queerness. And it's amazing. And I was really sad that we weren't going to have that this year. So instead, we're going to, on Instagram, have a little story that is our own little Queerbomb fashion show. So if you are so inclined on June 6th, get all dressed up in your full queer outfit, and whether you post it on your story or post it on your page, just tag Queerbomb 2020 and we will add you to our Queerbomb fashion show on our Instagram page, which we're very, very excited about. And personally, how I plan, I think we don't have queer elders. A lot of them died during the AIDS epidemic, so we don't get to hear our stories. And so one thing that I plan on doing during Pride Month is to reach out to all of my elders and hear their stories and ask them what their life was like, how things have changed, and what they hope for our kids and for our future. So I'm really, really excited just to like get to know the history that I was never taught. So that's what I'm doing, and I highly recommend it. It's really, really cool to hear those stories that like you wouldn't get if you didn't ask.
Jordy, what about you? What do you want people to do to celebrate Pride, or what ideas do you have?
Of course. Yeah, well, I am about to promote here. I'm letting you know, but of course, stream Bad Bunny. His music, it's very, powerful, and it, speaks for, like about, women's rights and how, a man should treat a woman by, respecting women's boundaries and, their bodies, and, their bodies is their choice. So of course, respect that. And also just, like make sure that you're doing something fun, going out for walks, like Emmet says, being responsible, put a mask on, 6 feet apart if you're with somebody else, and just try to, like take care of yourself during this time. I know it can be a very tough time for a lot of us, but try to, find out more about your culture. Like Devyn said, listen to the stories of your, elders and other people in the past, and how their lives were, as a gay person, or just in general. This is a good time to learn and more about ourselves and others. So, take advantage of the time, and yeah.
Emmet, what about you?
Yeah, I think I'll piggyback Devyn with the personal thing, learning from queer history. I've started listening to the Stonewall Reader, which got published last year, and it's excerpts from all kinds of queer activists from the 60s, leading up to the Stonewall riots. And it's really informative, and yeah, really important. I'm one that doesn't know enough about queer history, and even just getting these excerpts from autobiographies or memoirs or interviews is yeah, so like nourishing and inspiring. And like Devyn also said, recognizing that we're able to have these pride celebrations because of the work that has happened before us, the real blood, sweat, and tears before us. It's important to know that. So I highly recommend the Stonewall Reader. With there are some problematic people in the movement because that's also a part of our history. So I'll also say that. We're all learning, and it's more than 50 years. I can do math. I was just 50 years last year, right? 50 years is a long time. So we've grown a lot as a movement in terms of acceptance of trans people and people of all colors, and there's so much further to go, as we all know. So education, and I'll also insert a little promo in there as well. Gay Agenda has a little feature called Yesterqueer. So we're going to be launching some more Yesterqueer in June. Basically, the idea is queer people now relating to queer people from yesterqueer and talking about it. So I'm excited to share more of that in June. And yeah, I'd also say like wear your gay shit, wear your gay stuff to the grocery store. Like be flamboyant. Like it's our time to look gay when we can, and decorate your house, put up a flag. Like let's show people we are here and we are queer and we are staying homo.
Thank you. James, did you have anything that you or San Antonio Pride wanted people to do this during this month to celebrate Pride?
I would just say to support your local organizations, and if they're doing virtual events, try to participate in that. Definitely, as businesses are reopening up, to try to support your local queer-owned businesses, and other businesses too, not just queer-owned, but I mean, queer supportive businesses and what have you. And just, I mean, I would love to have everybody on this call right now participate in our virtual event. If y'all want to, give me your contact information or send me the emails or whatever, we would love to have y'all do a shout out or whatever, and and us do the same for y'all's events as well.
And Sheldon, come on and bring us home.
So I one of the things we talk about, like absorbing and learning from queer history, I think it's very important too for us to create our history. So one of the things I've been recommending folks to do is journal your experience during this time, because in 50 years, that generation is going to want to know what happened during the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. So definitely archive your experience, take all the pictures, decorate your house, and keep an eye out for Quell's free Pride flag giveaways. So yeah.
I want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart for participating in our roundtable. I want to just thank all of you, Devyn, Emmet, Jordy, Sheldon, James. Your organizations are doing vital and crucial work for our community. A lot of people are struggling right now, are having a hard time, and the events that you're putting on, the community that you're creating, is important for people to feel like they are not as alone during this time. So from the bottom of my heart, from Kind, thank y'all so much for participating. And be on the lookout for all of the organizations and all of their amazing events. Again, we have a blog with a lot of other things that you can do to celebrate Pride. And with that, good night, folks.